Hi everyone, it's Miss Souter. I'm here to talk to you about the Unit 2 source evaluation. I got a question about it over the weekend and I just wanted to clarify some things. So the Unit 2 source evaluation is the last assignment in the Unit 2 module. We are going to locate a source using an academic search engine. And the topic of the source has to deal with the value of failure. So it would be a source that we could have used in our Unit 2 paper to make our points a little stronger. So to summarize, you are going to locate a source that you could have used on your Unit 2 paper, the value of failure, and evaluate it using the CRAP test. Now, the CRAP test, for those who have not read the information yet, is gone over in this video and in step 1. So there's a reading for you to do. You want to do step 1, read. Does your website pass the CRAP test? And this could also be used for web articles, even books, so on and so forth. Now pay very close attention to this CRAP test because that is what questions you'll find on your source evaluation assignment. So these questions, these criteria, is exactly what you'll be asked about. And CRAP, as you can see, stands for currency, relevancy, authority, accuracy, and purpose. So I would definitely read over this before you start the assignment. That way you can fully understand what the question is asking in the assignment. Moving on, there's also a video here about locating sources using an academic search engine or database. And then I've made a video here that pulls these two together, and I'm going to show you again here how to locate a source. Alright, so what we're going to do is go over to my DTC. We're going to go to resources. And then you'll see, if you scroll down, the Deltec libraries, and there are all the library databases. These are all approved academic databases and search engines by the college, so that's a great source. You could also use Google Scholar, but I recommend not using Google directly because it's going to take you a little bit longer to find an appropriate article. And for this one, I'm going to use, let's use SIRS. You can also use EBSCOhost. That's another popular one that was on that list there. Let's see. All right, while this is loading, oh, here we go. So you'll just have to type in the value of failure. And then we scroll down. What we want to do is kind of keep it within the last 5 years. So let's do 01/01/2016. And then we want to do to today, which on the day I'm making this video is the 14th. Okay, so I'm looking here and I'm not seeing anything that does fit with what our paper was focusing on, so I'm going to change my words here. Let's see, lessons you can learn from failing. Oh. Still not finding anything quite what I need here, so I may try another search engine. So I may go to EBSCOhost or Google Scholar. Let's check out Google Scholar while EBSCOhost is loading. Lessons one learns from failure. Echoes of failure. What lessons can we learn? Failure. Lessons for healthcare work leaders. So that might be specific to a certain area. The lessons of failure, learning and blaming avoidance in public policy making. And to make sure these are something we can even use, we'll go here and make sure that, it's 2016 to 2021. And still not seeing something there. There we go. No learning from failure, the greatest failure of all, which is something they brought it up in the article. If we don't learn from it, what is the point of it? There's a few others. It may take you a while to find an article that exactly fits the topic of our essay, but once you find the right wording, you're good to go. And you can do the same thing over here in EBSCOhost. That one's taking a while, but here we go. And again, we just got to make sure that we get it within the last 5 years, because that'll be recent as studies, continually change. Okay, lessons from failure. What lesson? Okay, echoes of failure. What lessons we can learn? There we go. We found something. Once you find an article, what you're going to do is go back to our Dell Tech page here, and you're going to go to step 5. Here we go. Because we just did step 4. Remember, my side's going to look a little different because it's the teacher side. So in the previous video, I showed you the printout version that you can do for your notes, but this is the actual assignment. The first one asks you to upload your source here, then answer the following questions about the source. This does not mean copy and paste the whole source. They'll just copy and paste the URL. So I'm picking the first article we found on Google Scholar. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it here, and then I'm going to answer the questions. Name the database or academic search used. I use Google Scholar, but you may use SERS or EBSCOhost. Just make sure it's there. List the keywords or synonym were used or could have been used while searching for a source. So you saw that I had tried a few different ways of wording the topic before I got something, and I did give you some examples that you could use here. Just make sure you got all of the ones that you used here. Then you'll do the CRAP test. So question 4 deals with currency. When was the information published? And if this information is more than 5 years old, so say you absolutely couldn't find anything within the last 5 years and you had to go a little low, a little bigger on the search engine, why is that information you found still useful even though it's older? This one deals with relevance. How does this information relate to your topic, support your thesis? So how did this information relate to your Unit 2 essay? Who is the intended audience of the original source? So who did the author's not writing to you, they had a different source in mind, so who was that? Like this one is psychological science. So we could infer that this is written towards psychologists and psychology students. This one deals with the authority. Number 6 here, so who's the author and what are their credentials? What makes them an authority on the subject? Meaning, like, what's their credibility? Why should I listen to this guy? You're going to want someone with a degree or years of background in the subject, not Joe Schmo from Clown College who got angry one day and decided to write about failure. And if the source is not from a database, if you couldn't find anything on Google Scholar or any of the other approved sources and you absolutely had to use Google, what does the URL tell you about that source? Like .com is written by anybody and everybody. .edu is scholarly because it's run by a school. Gov, government, organization, there's usually some kind of trying to sell you something. And net is also like com. Question 7 deals with accuracy. One way you can tell if a source is accurate is if they're using outside sources to back up their information. And if no sources are cited, what is provided that can help determine accuracy? Like look at their wording, look at the information. Did they themselves do the research? That kind of stuff. Is it relatively accepted truths? Lastly, we have purpose. What is the purpose of the information? To inform, to teach, sell, entertain, persuade, or even some combination of this, and how do you know? All right, so if you'll notice questions 3 through 8 have a lot of two-parters. They don't want, you're going to have to make sure that you are answering the question fully to get all 5 points. Now for this last question, question 9, it wants you a declaration of the source credibility. I want to see a review of all of the CRAP criteria in your answer if you want to get the full 20 points. So, you have to explain currency, relevancy, accuracy, authority, and purpose all in your answer to explain why the source is credible or not. Once you've done that, you hit submit quiz and you're done. All right, so that is a source evaluation assignment. Please email me if you have any questions. It is due tomorrow at 8 p.m.